Oh, listen to me. I'm watering my lawn in the midst of a drought. I hire a team of Hispanic guys to come and take care of my lawn during the midst of a drought. Fucking California. Fucking California, yay. Dios mío, man. Dude, I think I'm getting arthritis. Isn't that great? This finger, this one finger, has been hurting for like 2 weeks. All in one joint, though. It's not like hurting down here or down here. It's all right here. This joint, you know, that little, that little joint. It's not like horrible pain, but it's just like this finger is stiff. And like when I bend it or flex it or use it for anything, there's like, I'm getting arthritis, y'all. I'm becoming an arthritic old man right in front of your fucking eyes. Can you pop the joint? I can pop that joint, but right now it like I haven't been fucking with it because it's just like that joint is really sore. Yeah, it's not gonna pop. Ah. Yeah, this joint and like the little bone that comes off of it. So like whatever this little front joint is, and then this like spreading back a little bit onto this little bone in between the knuckle and that joint. Just hurts. It's just stiff. It's a stiff thing. Stiff and painful. Not horrible, but just to the point where it's like every day it's the same. And I'm just like, well, I didn't hurt this finger. I didn't injure it. I would remember like, jammed my finger, or I fucking sat on my finger, or I fucking bent my finger the wrong way. Nothing like that happened. And it's been, I don't know, a good fucking 2 weeks. Maybe week and a half.
Have you been gaming more with it?
Game it? Like, oh, you mean like tip-tapping the mouse? I don't think so. I don't think I've been playing any games with my mouse. I've been playing with my controller.
Do you use that finger a lot on that controller?
I'd have to like hold it, but it's like the button, it's like the bumper thing, but this motion doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So I'd be hitting like the side bumpers with it, and my thumbs would be here, handling the fucking buttons. And this would be my bumper finger, and this doesn't hurt, like, because I'm moving this part of the finger, with this knuckle and this bone being the central fulcrum of that. It's this type of shit. It's like when I have to bend my fingers for something. It's definitely this joint, this little baby joint, and whatever little tendon that connects it to that. Who cares? I'm just getting fucking old. My mom's got arthritis.
There's a shortage of arthritis drugs right now because they're giving them all to COVID patients.
Anti-inflammatories.
Or immune suppressants too.
And immunosuppressants, yeah, because that's what arthritis is right? Your immune system starts attacking your joints. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's never good to self-diagnose things, but you know what I mean? Like this has gone on and on and on. Like, and it's not even like something that bothers me so bad that I have to think about it all the time. It's just right before I started this, when I hit the button on my phone, it bent my finger back a little bit, and I was like, ah!
Maybe you need to get a popsicle stick and let it chill for a little bit.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I broke it, though. I would know. I would, like, I've broken fingers before. It doesn't feel broken. It's just fucking inflamed. your fault. It's all the pointing I do at you when I'm trying to get you to fucking calm down.
I have a weird thing on my finger. Like this finger is always raised up. There's like a little bump that grew there.
Is that like a callus?
It's not really. I think
It's
it's from like writing, like the pencil being like up against it. It just permanently inflamed that.
yeah. Wish we had a pencil so I could show you how I hold a pencil.
Do
Because
it
that
with a
maybe,
cigarette, I guess.
huh?
You do it with a cigarette, I guess.
So this is how I write
Yeah.
with the pencil through my fingers like that.
Yeah.
I was never taught how to do the proper like holding a pen like this. I can't write like that. This is how I write. Shit, you not.
You also can't type either.
I can't type either. Yeah. I hunt. Well, I'm actually, dude. I'm actually a pretty fast hunt and peck typist.
Yeah.
But I can't do. I never learned. Wasn't offered in my school because, you know, I mean, it's not like typing wasn't available in my school. It just wasn't mandatory like it is for a lot of people.
You didn't have to type up papers in a certain format for finals or anything.
No, I had to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to type papers and stuff, but I would like typing as a skill. Everybody that I talked to that's younger than me had it in school. And for me, it was it was an elective that you took, you know, and I had other electives that I wanted to take. But other people, it seems like it's like I had to take typing one year to learn how to do it. It just wasn't considered to be a necessary skill for everybody.
Yeah, it'd be like they thought that secretaries were still going to be typing up everything.
Yeah, it was secretaries, court reporters. It was like back then. That's, you know, people obviously working on computers and stuff, but it was considered to be like a niche thing. Most people didn't know how to type. Most people didn't need to really know how to fucking work a typewriter or work a fucking keyboard. And then after I graduated from high school, you know, in '98, that's right when computers became ubiquitous.
Yeah.
Everybody had one, everybody was using them, everybody needed to know how to type, and this is how I learned. Which, like I said, I can be pretty fast on it, but I'm never going to be as fast as working all these fingers at once. I've watched people type and it amazes me. It just like amazes me when I watch people that are decent typists just go, and they don't even look at it. They're just like, I'm just like, fuck. I can't do that shit. I have to look at the fucking keyboard, and sometimes I can look up because I kind of have like an idea where keys are, but I always have to reorient myself on the keyboard and look where I'm typing and look back up, and it's fucked. Well, it was taught, like I said, I had typing available to me in high school, so I'm not that old, but I just didn't take it. It wasn't like necessary. It wasn't considered to be like, hey, you got to learn how to do this. It was like, hey, if you are going into a field where you're going to be writing a lot of research papers, or you want to be a court reporter or a secretary or whatever the fuck, you should probably take typing. That's the way we looked at it. It's like, am I going to be typing all day for my job? No. Fuck it.
Court reporters have to do like
10 key.
shorthand.
Yeah, they have a special
Yeah.
keyboard that's shorthand keyboard and that whole thing. So it's a whole, but court reporters learn how to type on a manual keyboard first.
Yeah. Well, because they have to expand it once they
Right.
their shorthand.
They get good at that, and then they learn shorthand, and they relearn the keyboard, and they get really good at and that's you can. There's no way for a human being to type faster right now than a court reporter shorthand keyboard, because it functionally lets you annotate an entire sentence using only a few words. And you can read it back exactly as it was said. So it's just a really great. But like, yeah, that type of shit. If you didn't have it in your mind like, hey, I'm going to go into that, you know, you really didn't have to take it.
Little fly buggy.
Well, if he lands, I'll shoot him. So I didn't learn how to write properly. Nobody ever taught me how to hold a fucking pencil all throughout my fucking elementary school years. I hold it like a fucking cigarette, and the pencil, like if this was longer, it comes out the back here, and I never learned how to do this. I remember it being an issue when I was younger. I remember some teacher telling my mom about it, and my mom sitting down and watching me write. I remember I was young, probably about like 7. I must have been in first grade. And I remember her sitting down and watching me write, and I traced the letters like I was supposed to. They give you the lined paper, and she was like, "There's nothing wrong with the way you write. You go on doing it." She didn't. I guess she didn't feel like it was, and she's probably right. I mean, it hasn't like impeded me. I have legible handwriting.
Yeah.
It's not pretty, but it's, people can read what I write. So.
Well, like I had to teach myself cursive because they didn't really teach it.
See, that's something that goes the other way. Cursive was fucking mandatory when I was a kid. So I learned cursive in like 3rd grade, and you had to learn how to do all the letters and yeah. So they stopped teaching cursive and started teaching. It just shows you how the medium changed.
I started doing cursive just because like I had chicken scratch handwriting if I didn't.
Well, I mean, chicken scratch is what it is. Like having handwriting that looked good is something that really mattered like 50 years ago. And then about 50 years ago, it stopped mattering as much as the typewriter started to become more ubiquitous and blah, blah, blah. And now I can't even remember the last time somebody mentioned anything about handwriting to me. Unless somebody's got handwriting that's so bad it's literally illegible. That's the only time I hear it getting brought up now. Back in the day, it used to be like, yeah, this is legible, but it looks like chicken scratch. Or, you even called your own chicken scratch. That type of shit just doesn't matter anymore. People don't care about no chicken scratch handwriting as long as you can read.
People would bitch, like, I let people copy my notes sometimes, and they're like, I have a hard time reading this. It's like, well, you can always just take your own notes and not copy mine.
Yeah. Dude, that's the fucking most self-involved shit. Somebody asks you to copy your notes, and you let them, and then they go, dude, could you write a little more legibly? Fuck you. Give me my notes. No more copying for you. It's fun watching younger people trying to read cursive. Dude, I can read like super stylized cursive too. I can't really write it all that well. Like that, because it just wasn't really like reinforced. I was taught to me in like 3rd or 4th grade. And then after that, you didn't have to do it anymore. So it's just like, it's a skill that sticks with me in the form of being able to decipher really like stylistic cursive and shit, which is cool because I know the root, but it doesn't really serve me in any way. I was probably the last generation of people to functionally write letters to other people. Like I would write letters to people that I knew, from theater competitions and shit, lived in different towns or whatever that I had a friendship with. Double kill.
I mean, cursive is definitely better for your hands if you're writing a lot.
Well, yeah, because you're not picking up the pencil and putting it down, so it's better for your wrist and fingers and everything because it's all one flowing. It's not useful anymore. People don't write letters to one another anymore. Like, when's the last time you wrote somebody a letter? Unless it was like some legal document or something. But like, you don't write a letter. You don't like, hello, thinking about you today. Like, nobody has any letters. My mom's got a shoebox full of letters from when she was a kid. When she started dating my dad, they would write each other letters because they couldn't text. So they had to truncate their text talk, which goes on constantly now, into readable letters expressing their affection for one another. And that goes way back. A lot of the most interesting stuff from like the Civil War documentary that Ken Burns did is like soldiers' letters back home, or letters that somebody wrote to a soldier. OT. Nice waggy tail. I like it. You got good energy on you, dude. Dinor's got that Dinor energy. Prick your finger, it is done. The moon has now eclipsed the sun. The angel has spread its wings. The time has come for better things. Prick your finger, it is done. The moon is now eclipsed the sun. The angel has spread his wings. The time has come to repent. Waiting for one of these fucks to land. Just do it. Oh, no. Go find somewhere on the table to land. Fuck it. Anyway, sorry. Fly hunt. Dude, there's a Manson kind of like behind the scenes movie that is so fucking good, and I can't remember what it was because I want to watch it again. I watched it so much back in like the early 2000s. It was this great, like, they would take the actual songs, obviously. Is it Dead to the World? I don't know, dude. I don't know what it was called. That's the fucked up thing. I need to ask TJ about it. Because it's like that era of Manson where he was wearing like bandages basically, like from the waist down, just like he's bandaged up and he's all naked here, and he would cut himself, so he was all slashed up, and they have a lot of this great concert footage that's shot really intimately that they layer in with the actual cut of the song. I'm telling you what, dude, that is what changed that movie, whatever it is. People are saying Dead to the World is what it's called. That movie is what changed my mind on Marilyn Manson and made me a fan. Not from his Hollywood album. This is pre-Hollywood. This is pre-Hollywood. I was watching this before Hollywood came out. I bought Hollywood on the strength of this. Like, I got into Manson because of this. Yeah, it had the Christian protests. He said, he does that thing with the audience. He's like, let them fucking hear you. We hate love. We love hate. Oh my God, dude. Oh, fuck. I saw that shit and I was like, oh my God. Antichrist Superstar era, for sure. Let those motherfuckers hear you outside. Got me all fired up. Good shit. Good shit. Did you see Manson was at Kanye's release party or some shit? Cool. It's funny because back when Ozzy would have Christian protesters, he would go out to them and protest, go out with them and protest himself. Oh, yeah. Oh, bzz, bzz, bzz. So I've done a couple more of these Twitter Spaces, I think they're called, which is it's basically like a limited time Discord room that anybody with a Twitter can come in and listen to and participate in. And the differences between those when they're good and these is fucking stark, dude. It's something that I wish like I could fucking translate over here in terms of the quality of the comments that are put in, because nobody pipes in with just dumb, dull, blase, fucking rote observations about things. People only pop in if they have something substantive to say, and it's such a crazy difference. It's such like an insane difference in like just the level of participation that people engage in. Is it only available on mobile or only? No, it's on mobile. I do it on mobile. Yeah, your Twitter needed an update. Probably right. I am so un-American, sell you suicide. I am totalitarian, I got abortions in my eyes. I hate the hater. Fuck. What happened to rock and roll, man? God damn it, man. God damn it. What happened? What the fuck happened to rock and roll? Why rock and roll? Why did you disappear? I rape the raper. Yeah, rock is dead. Dude, it's just so true. Fucking Manson knew, dude. He didn't even say rock is dead. He said rock is deader than dead. Worse than dead. And the shock is all in your head. Metal does not, I mean, whatever. Metal will always live amongst a fucking, I mean, rock and roll is around still for a small group of fucking people, but when did rock die? The early 2000s. The early 2000s is when rock and roll started heavily ceding ground to electronic music, R&B music, and then hip hop. Hip hop and R&B were already established in a well popular genre, but they really started fucking. I just know. Like, I was born in the 80s, so I got to hear all the fucking cool pop / rock music that came out of the 80s. Say what you want about it. It's fun, right? Hair metal through, like, pop rock. Like, Alan Parsons Project shit. I am the eye in the sky. You know, whatever. It's rock. Then I got to live through the 90s, which... need I say more? Early 2000s, you know what started happening? Puddle of Mud, bro. Puddle of Mud came out. And Creed came out. And all this, like, total, like, ass rock started to become... Oh, thank you, baby. Started to become the fucking paradigm. Total butt rock. Rock and roll went from, like, grunge, which, listen to any grunge. If you don't like Nirvana, listen to some fucking Pearl Jam or listen to some Smashing Pumpkins. You know what I mean? It went from that to, like, this just, like, stupid bravado butt rock shit. I don't even know how to explain it. Just listen to Puddle of Mud. Yeah, Bud Light rock. Yeah. You know what killed it? I'm about to piss off a lot of people in the fucking room. I've been considering saying this or not. You know what killed rock and roll? Metal encroaching on popular music, on popular rock. When the fucking super serious, I'm a big burly Viking badass aesthetic started to make its way into popular rock and roll, murdered it. You got shit like fucking, we were talking about them the other day. It's that fucking band. I'm not the one that's so far away when I feel the snake bite into my vein. You get Godsmack. You get fucking Puddle of Mud. You get Buck Cherry. Another piece of shit. That's what killed it, dude. Metalheads don't want to fucking hear it, but that fucking overly serious, like self-aggrandizing, I'm a big god of death kind of like, you know what I mean, aesthetic that comes off of the metal community and comes off of metal music started to fucking worm its way into rock and roll and ruined it. Rock started to suck like a lot of that does. Sorry, metalheads. My bad. Unintelligible fucking bullshit. Well, emo was kind of like the sad little death rattle of rock. It really was, dude. Like emo was like rock's little death squeak. You know, it was good, but really kind of sad. You know, happened in the 2000s. I know emo started like emo and then post punk and all that shit. I know, but like I'm talking about the emo shit that started coming out. Dashboard Confessionals, Transatlanticism. It was just kind of like the death whimper of rock and roll. It was just sad wank came in and ruined it all. Your hair is everywhere. Oh, God. Just kill me now. Just let it die. I mean, some good songs came out of that shit. I liked, who sings I Will Follow You Into the Dark? Who sings that song? It is nasally and whiny, but it's a good song, you know. Super goth angsty metal. I think that's the word you're looking for. That angsty, emotional, badass rock. Yeah. Death Cab, sure. Death Cab was another. The Postal Service was another band that came out during the death whimper of rock and roll. Will rock ever return though? Probably, and so I don't think it'll take the same form. In a lot of ways, I think rock and hip hop have melded, and the evidence of that is all over the place. Breakout artists doing these kind of crossover kind of songs, and they fit together really well. Like, say what you want about Post Malone, I'm a big fan. His crossover with Ozzy was dope. You know what I mean? So for modern trap music to meld so seamlessly with what a lot of people consider to be golden era rock and roll, why are we asking if rock and roll will come back? Listen to Kanye, we the new rock stars, right? Meaning hip hop artists. You ask yourself the question, where did that kind of nihilistic fucking perspective of 90s rock go? Where did that exuberant party-based fucking aesthetic that 80s rock had go? Where did that fucking grimy, angsty 70s rock go? And then it's all there in hip-hop now. So hip-hop is just kind of like, and I'm not complaining about this, I feel like that hip-hop has subsumed a lot of other, that's what hip-hop is about. Hip-hop was born from sampling, right? So think about the origins of that, right? You look back at the earliest hip-hop, it was taking a sample from another piece of work and then adding a break beat to it, right? And kind of doing slam poetry over a breakbeat. So hip hop is a sample-based art form, which means, kind of by necessity, that it absorbs and subsumes other forms of music, which is good. That's why it's the number one music in the world right now, and has been for probably a decade or more. No signs of slowing down, no signs of stopping. As much as people poo-poo the modern artists, they just keep cranking it out. They just keep showing up, keep making big hits, keep resonating with people. Nope, I haven't heard of that band. In practice, like letting a conversation like this lead you down the rabbit hole of like trying to give me pointers on bands that I should listen to, or wondering if I listen to bands that you like, is typically what kills a conversation. Just so you know. I try not to answer those questions, because then everybody in the fucking chat room starts going, have you heard of this? Have you listened to that? Have you listened to that? I mean, can you imagine a half hour of that? That's what this would be if I let it do that. So just stop. Hardcore techno. All right, bro. Hardcore techno. The techno Viking is here. I did a show on the guy that invented techno. Do you know who invented techno? Since you're all into techno, do you know who invented techno. Jean-Michel Basquiat. Look up Gray. The first band to use, what was it called? A Wasp synthesizer to make digital music. This is back in like the 80s or late 70s, early 80s. Definitely not the first synthesized music. But definitely the inventor of modern techno. Another invention of the 27 Club, yep. They show up, they give us their inventions, and then they leave. No, there really is no inventor of techno. Let's be honest. There's no inventor of any one genre. But I will say this. Jean-Michel Basquiat also made what is considered to be one of the first hip-hop songs ever with Blondie, where a synthesized beat was used and Blondie, the pop artist, rapped over the beat. Jean-Michel Basquiat is in the video for that. So definitely a dude that was around a lot of the people that were pushing the boundaries of music and made his own fucking mark on it. Why I consider him to, well, one of the reasons I consider him to be such an interesting person. I learned arguing from ignorance on music when I was a teenager and a young adult about the origins of different subgenres that take off. And you're never going to find the etymology of it. You can look at some of the early artists that contributed to it, but you're never going to find that, like, this is the Nikola Tesla of hip-hop, you know, or this is the fucking Albert Einstein of grunge rock, you know. Because I used to argue, like, Nirvana invented grunge, and I they didn't. But I think that it's a defensible position because they popularized grunge. But nobody invented grunge. It just happened. It happened because of a place and a time. In a certain part of the United States, all of this punk influence and this kind of rebellious young kind of energy against what had become very kind of like corporatized, cutesy wootsy, Huey Lewis and the News type of rock, right? And it birthed. Bands started playing off of one another and started learning from one another and seeking out artists that were, you know what I mean? You don't get the Beatles. What don't you get about the Beatles? I can help red pill you on the Beatles if that's what you need. What don't you get about the Beatles? Their drummer. Yeah, okay. I can't explain him. I used to be kind of like negative on the Beatles myself. And it took some real like deliberate introspection on my part and actually listening to the Beatles to develop an appreciation. I'm still not the biggest Beatles fan, but I understand the contribution they made. A lot of Beatles fans won't like this, but the Beatles were kind of the beginning of the sexually marketable rock phase. They weren't the only ones in on it, but if you look at like what rock and rollers looked like, they were just talented people, but they were kind of goofy looking. Like if you look at pre-Beatles rock and roll, the way that rock and rollers presented themselves had way less to do than how they sounded. I know Elvis played his fucking part in this too. But you have to understand, like a lot of fucking bands presented themselves, you know, in a very kind of dressed down way. And the Beatles were like this marketable group of young, attractive men that had an aesthetic on top of being super talented, having at least 2, if not 3 mega talents on their roster. So we're talking George Harrison, we're talking Paul McCartney, and you know, what's his name? Ringo is left out. Well, I mean, how your hair looked, how you presented yourself, and like this like allowance of sexualized, like not necessarily directly sexualized content, but this more accepting sexualization of music. I'm not saying that it started with the fucking Beatles. I'm just saying they married it with rock and roll, which was kind of a nerdy thing up until that point. Well, technically, yeah, Marty McFly invented rock and roll. These kinds of conversations are fun to have, but they tend to piss people off because, you know, people have very strong opinions on music, which I think they should. Music is one of the most important things humanity has ever done. Why didn't they leave George Harrison's guitar solo and Here Comes the Sun? I don't know. It's hard to argue that it wasn't a good fucking choice, given the popular nature of that song. Somebody earlier said that the Beatles pioneered a lot of studio stuff, and that's true. I like Elvis and I like the Beatles. I don't understand that whole, like, you're an Elvis man or a Beatles man. ¿Por qué no dos? They're two very, very different influences on rock and roll that, you know, I don't really know that are all that comparable. Like you take Elvis, and what Elvis did was take gospel music and country and western music and infuse it with this kind of rock and roll influence. That's definitely not what the Beatles did, you know. The Beatles had a different set of influences and were coming from a different place. The Beach Boys are a little in the Beatles' shadow. I don't know. See, I don't really think that's true. I mean, maybe in terms of like popular acclaim, but I don't know. I think the Beach Boys are appreciated a lot more now than they were when I was a kid. What's more important to you, the beat or the lyrics? Neither. A good song is a combination. There has to be both. The lyrics have to ring a bell. Whether they're fucking complex and poetic or not, doesn't matter to me. If there's lyrics in the song, it's part of the orchestra. Can't separate one from the other. Got my head on a swivel for these flies right now. I've killed 2 or 3 today. There's usually about 5 of them out here every day that I have to get before I can live in relative peace. Relative fly-free peace. Oh, land, you bastard. Yes. Goodbye. Oh, dropped him. It's gonna be carnage. It's gonna be carnage, counselor. I tell you what, it's gonna be carnage. That movie's gonna suck. Suckity suck. I watched a movie the other day called I Trapped the Devil. Because I thought like, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. And it's literally about that kind of. I'm not even really going to talk much about like the plot of this movie, but I want to point it out that either I am getting old, which is, and my hearing is going, which I know my hearing is bad, or movies are getting whisperier. This was the most whispery fucking goddamn fucking movie ever. Everybody's like, so there were some interesting ideas in I Trapped the Devil, but the movie is pretty bad overall. I watched it. I Trapped the Devil is the name of the movie. But I will tell you this: if you go watch it, turn on subtiddly-ootas. Put them subtiddly-ootas on, dude. It really was, dude. It really was a Whispers McMillan joint, dude. I tell you what, not every line, but like I'd say a good 70% of the lines in that movie, if I didn't have the fucking subtitles on, I wouldn't have heard. Because it just sounds like, you're like, say what, Sonny? Yeah, Noam Chomsky. Why is that motherfucker getting whisperier? He's always been hard to hear, and as the older he gets, like people will send me like, "Hey, Paul, I'm interested in dialogue with you. I don't agree with you politically, but I am interested in open dialogue. And I thought that this Noam Chomsky video would like maybe elucidate some things, a little better than I could. Watch it at your leisure." And I'll click on it, and it's just like, all right, and we're here on the Hammer and Sickle podcast, and we've got a very auspicious guest tonight. Yes, indeed. Professor Noam Chomsky, noted leftist thinker and author and professor, man of many parts. Mr. Chomsky, welcome to the podcast tonight. Oh, yes, Mr. Chomsky. Well, we'd hope to ask you about Israel tonight, and it looks like you are hot to trot to talk about it tonight. Mr. Chomsky, can you unpack some of the layers on this deep onion that is Israel and Palestine, since it seems to be at the forefront of all thinking now? We'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Oh, Mr. Chomsky, the insight. I'm just like, what? What did he say? I'm sorry, dude, but it's just like, man, can we get a translator? Can we get him one of those keyboards like fucking Stephen Hawking had? So he can just be like, Israel and Palestine is an incredibly deeply layered conflict, and most people don't understand how deep it goes. You know, can we get that? Can we get it? Oh my God, dude. Don't even get me started. Listen, I probably agree with Slavoj Zizek way more than people that I would disagree with him, but I can't listen to the fucking guy. And I'm not trying to make fun. I'm not going to do it. It's just a fucking very wet situation. What you have to realize, it's just like, oh, fuck, man. I can't do it. I can't. And then the face, I gotta say, I'm just like, next. Can't do it, sorry. Can I get a fucking translator on this, bro? Can I get a fucking... Do deaf people get a sign language thing? Can I get a translator? Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Well, I mean, fucking Hawking didn't have any dexterity in his fingers. He didn't use his fingers. That motherfucker could talk whole paragraphs. It doesn't take finger dexterity anymore, man. They got just give him fucking... I know Hawking ain't using it. He's dead. Donate the fucking thing to Gnome so we can understand what the fucking guy is saying. I can't, man. It's too wet. Zizek is too wet. Chomsky's too quiet, man. I feel like Goldilocks here, but I'm sorry. I sat down on one bowl of porridge. It's too wet, man. It's too wet. There's too much flying out. Too much snuffling back in, man. I can't listen to that. And then I go to the other bowl of porridge, and I can't... Is there porridge in there? I can't take it. Wait a minute. I think I hear some... There might be porridge. I don't know. I can't hear the porridge. Is the other bowl of porridge Canadian Kermit the Frog? Because if that's the case, I am Goldilocks. Dude, they sent in a heavy bomber. That was a big-ass horsefly. I want him to land near me again. Land. Oh, yeah. You're fucked, bro. Yes! Oh, my God, he was huge. Oh. I mean, if he's gonna keep doing like, it's almost pathological at this point, man. For me, Chomsky. Like this motherfucker does so many interviews. Can he pay or can somebody pay to get him mic'd up in such a way that like the fucking like mic is right here, and like the gain is super high? Because this motherfucker never yells. You know what I mean? Why is he on a condenser mic? Get him one. Like, can somebody get Noam Chomsky a rig where we can hear the motherfucker when he does an interview, please? I know Noam's got some money. Can he invest in a headset and put the fucking mic right here so we could listen to what he's saying? Please? Is that too much to ask? Hook me up, man. No, he needs somebody to set it up for him where the gain is super high. Because like I said, Noam never yells. He never hollers. He never raises his voice about this. So what they need is, let's get somebody to modulate the mic gain way super high, and so we can hear what Noam is saying, because he's a really quiet guy. And it's just like, the fact that I know this, and I'm a scrub, you know what I mean? Noam's got to know this shit. Chomsky's too quiet and also croaky. It's like a 200-year-old tortoise with a sore throat. Morla the Ancient One, dude. We don't even care whether or not we care. We're tired of sneezing. Go away. Gnome Chomsky. Yeah, somebody should just say like, Mr. Chomsky, I hate to interrupt you. Can you speak the fuck up? Nobody can hear you. Could you speak up? Known Chomsky? Oh my God, bro. Here's what I hate about Noam Chomsky, and it really has nothing to do with him. He is the dude that electoralists, like liberal adjacent electoralists, trot out once every fucking 4 years to justify voting for the lesser of two evils, and then they ignore everything else the dude has to say, you know? Like, he really seems to be very useful for his willingness to like go in front of people and say, I think that we should vote, to whisper almost unintelligibly, well, I think that we should vote for the lesser of two evils. You know what I mean? And then I get that fucking sent at me and like, well, Noam Chomsky disagrees. And I'm like, does he? What else does Noam Chomsky talk about? Because I've seen some of Noam Chomsky's talks, and it seems like I agree with Noam Chomsky on a lot of things. Noam Chomsky, dude. Fuck me, man. Dude, Slavoj Zizek's name sounds like him trying to say something else. Isn't that kind of funny? Like that a dude that sounds like Slavoj Zizek has a name like Slavoj Zizek, dude. Slavoj Zizek. It sounds like he... I'm just... Like, what if Slavoj Zizek's name was like Jim Browning or some shit. He would never, you know, it just wouldn't be right. Yeah, Barry Williamson. It just wouldn't work. He has to have, dude, his name sounds like him trying to say hello at the beginning of an interview. And tonight, noted thinker, philosopher, author, arguer, Slavoj Zizek is with us. Mr. Zizek, welcome to the podcast. Slavoj Zizek. You know what I mean? I'm going to hell. Dude, I'm going to hell, bro. Who's coming with me? Come on. I'm going straight to hell, man. I know, I'm mean. That's why it said I'm going to hell. You're already in hell. Maybe we all are. Oh my God, bro. I can't with it anymore. This goofy thing, dude, that I'm talking about, it extends to so many people, bro. It extends to so many fucking people. I don't mean to fucking inflame the fucking, but fuck it. Like, while we're on the subject, I can't listen to Vosh anymore. His cadence just drives me nuts, dude. When this motherfucker says aesthetic, I just want to fucking shoot myself in the face, bro. I cannot listen to someone who talks like this for 4 hours, my guy. I just fucking can't, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it. I have so many problems with communication these days, man. Everybody's trying to put on that weird 1920s announcer voice and shit. Wow, look at the stars. Down on Hollywood Boulevard, traffic is bumper to bumper. As, it's like, oh my God, man, shut up. Shut up. You talk like a human being for 1 second. Do you walk around, does Vosh walk around talking like that? Like when he goes to Chipotle's and they're like fucking, what would you like on your burrito? Let me see, my guy. I think that ontologically, steak would be the best choice. Although, to be quite frank with you, hold on, I know I'm going to get some heat for this. I'm actually leaning towards the barbacoa. The barbacoa. I think I'm going to go with the barbacoa. Does he do that? Does this motherfucker walk around his life at the grocery store when he goes to get it? And he has to ask somebody a question. Does he tap him on the shoulder and go like, excuse me, my guy, my dude, could you point me in the direction of the soy-based milk products, my guy? Like, is that... And if not, then why is he doing it on his show, dude? Can't. Just another one I can't. We're talking about personalities, like political personalities that we just can't listen to. Noam Chomsky, I can't because I can't hear what he's saying. He whispers too much. Slavoj Zizek, because I can't understand a word that comes out of his fucking mouth. And Vosh, because it sounds like he's putting on a weird fucking 1920s announcer voice when he speaks. And it just... It's like when you're chilling, is he talk like that? I don't think so. See, I just have a filter. I cannot listen to somebody who's putting on a fucking thing like that. And I think it's because I learned to hate fucking TV news people. And that's really what it reminds me of. Hello, Fresno. I'm Chip Whitman. Tonight, the leading story, murder in downtown Fresno. On the scene is Meg Zazinski. Meg, thank you, Chip Whitman. I just can't deal with that fucking weird, like, I'm reading the news now. And if you look at newscasters, that started to happen at a certain point. Like, look at Walter Cronkite. Walter Cronkite had a conversational style. Who's the dude that did the Good Night and Good Luck broadcasts? What was that guy's name again? I can't. His name escapes me. But that's a radio broadcaster that was well trusted, loved, widely listened to back in the day, and you could like. But he had a very conversational presentation style. He wasn't. You know, it didn't feel like he was putting on airs all the fucking time. It was like he was trying to read the parts that he had to read and get people through the news. Edward R. Murrow, yeah. Yeah, he did. Alex Jones's voice. I mean, well, it at least sounds genuine. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell that, like, if you had a conversation with Alex Jones, he'd probably be down here. Hey, how's it going? We're gonna smoke a doobie. Listen, I'm kind of retarded. I love that. That's like that's the best moment in the Joe Rogan show ever.
He decided if he's a cokehead or a meth head.
I don't know. I think he might switch up depending on his mood. I don't know. Alex Jones just, you know, I like his. I don't like his fucking content. I don't listen to him, but when I do, something very real and very fake at the same time with Alex. Yeah, maybe that's the mix that we need. Too much on the fake-o-meter, too much on the real-o-meter. We need to find that 50-50. Oh man, what a nightmare. Trying to think of other people in the community who never had a chance to convert a listener out of me because of that. Oh, like Razor Fist. Razorfish, bro, had never had a chance.
What about Repsion?
Repsion? I mean, I like Repsion because I met Repsion, so I've actually seen the real Repsion.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan of the way he presents himself in his videos, so I don't watch him. I can't deal with it. And Razorfish, dude. Just can't deal with it. Oh, man. And you know who Razorfist reminds me of? That fucking other dude that I can't listen to. What's his name? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Never had a chance with me. Never had a chance. No, I haven't even listened to Tim Pool. I couldn't even place his voice. I just can't. I can't deal. What about Zwonstar? I like Zonster. I've talked to Zonster in a private setting, and he sounds like he does on his videos. He's like not putting on a super character. He might like amp up the energy a little bit for his videos, but that's fine. Like, I've talked to Zonster one-on-one, and he's, you know, he is as presented. Dr. Disrespect is suing Twitch. Good. They banned him and wouldn't tell anybody why they banned him. He's like one of their most popular dudes. And then they banned him for no reason and just like swept him under the rug. Why? What did he do? Did he do a racism? Did he do a misogyny? Oh, he knows, but he won't say. Okay, got it.
Or he's just saying that he knows.
Right. He is in a legal proceeding, so, you know, there might be some reason for him to play his cards close to his chest. Who knows? Who cares? Anyway, I'm done. I'll see you guys later. Bye.